So today I'm going to talk about the activities that some ESL teachers use in the classroom. But first, let me make clear one thing. I think activities are only really good when you're presenting the tenses. So when you have to present the perfects, the continues, activities are really, really good. But most of the teachers nowadays, and especially private teachers, they don't have their own methodology. They lay on some foundation that they know about some methodology, and then they fill up the gaps with some activities. And I'm gonna give you an example of an activity that is on my website that I took out on the internet and I put on my website. I will be changing the activities there as I progress with the channel and the website, but bear in mind this activity with me. As you can see, I print screen my website in the section activities, and then you click on it and you can go through there and check all the activities. But notice one thing. I have only a few sections on activities. So we're going to take a look at the first activity that you can see on my website, which is on verbs. And it brings the target here, that is to identify and use verbs. Circle the verbs in the word bank. And then you have there the main verbs, and you have to put the verbs on, fill in the verbs in the sentences or constructions, if you will. Well, that's my problem. I don't think there is any major goal with this activity. It's a very short goal. There is nothing more to do than to have this sentence filled in. The idea of accomplishment is very small. The student will answer 10 questions using some of the verbs above, and that's it. There's no real purpose of studying. It's just like, oh, really? So swim means this, or jump means that. Oh, and you can fill in the context. Is that real context? That is one of the things I ask myself. So, as I said, it's interesting to notice that that activity has no major goal. And I want to explore a little bit this idea of no major goal. I mostly want my students to get to read books in their L2. And to get there, I need to prepare my students from the beginning that they will be reading. To get to that point, you need to plan yourself as an ESL teacher. So, what I think is most important is get a methodology or a method that you truly believe in it. I truly believe in my one that I create that has the goal of getting students to read. And why is that? Because it frees them to do whatever they feel like with the new language. Reading, it's incredibly powerful. For your vocabulary to grow, you need to read books. You need to read good books. Of course, you're not going to go out there and read some Steinbeck talking about 1920s in United States. Those are or Ulysses. These are hard readings. I have to do them. And I swear, I mean, Ulysses took me a semester in university to do. But the goal is to let the students read whatever they wanted, but they really need to get to read books. I know that most of you do not believe in what I'm saying and saying like, no, Christmas activities are good. It gives the kids or the adults, whoever you're teaching, it gives them the vocabulary, the specific vocabulary they're looking for. That's not true. That vocabulary will not settle if they're not read in context, if they're not worked in context. And again, you're not setting your students to go out there and freely enjoy the new language that they are learning. You're just handicapping them. Okay, you're not giving them the best advice to acquire a language, and you're not fulfilling your duty as a teacher. Maybe watching movies and reading a couple of news paper articles or something on the internet will get them to get some vocabulary. Yes, but the habit of reading books because that's the only way they will acquire the necessary vocabulary to start writing well, so they can feel confident on writing. And when they feel confident on writing and reading, they'll get more confident on speaking. It's a snowball effect, and will get your students, to perform much better. So, in order not to have this idea, or this romantic idea that activities are a class, activities are not a class. Activities are just like filling some minutes that you have in the class. I know I'm being harsh here, but that's the honest truth. To become a good and functional ESL teacher, you need to pick a method. You can choose any methods. There are a bunch on my website. You can find them there. Or you can actually apply some of yourself into designing your own method. I did mine. You can also check my method there on my website. And I hope that I didn't disencourage you to continue being an ESL, but that I got you to the point to open your mind and not rely on activities. Rely on what you study and what you know. Okay? It's a long run, it's not a short one. So I hope you understand, and well, I see you again in the next video. All right, thank you. Bye.